stuck with?
Rigby.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mordecai too, but don't tell Eileen.
I'm nothing without my hug bug. I gotta be with my daughter. I want it. I'm sorry.
You're talking about Mr. T, right?
What's that?
You're talking about Mr.
The Androgynous, actually. It's his full name, Eric Bauza. If you did not know.
You learned
No,
something.
Mark Hamill was in Star Wars, dude? Serious.
Hold on, let me check
Yeah.
that.
I never asked him about it. And
Yeah,
then
he's
God,
in it.
it's the
You're
weirdest thing.
Eileen, an uncomplicated situation.
We got time for one more question. We got a bonus question here. Which do you think has more? All the stars in the universe or all the grains of sand on Earth? This is a real... Yeah. Let me ask you again as Morgan Freeman. Which do you think has more? All the stars in the universe or all the grains of sand on Earth?
It's the universe. It's gotta be the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because we made up like probably a billion songs. So I think it's the song. What?
Far out, man!
Wait, I thought you said songs.
Well, like, can I ask you, like, there is a
What do you
correct
think?
answer, right? Like,
Yep.
you have, okay.
It's an answer?
Sand.
What do you think?
Stars.
I think it
And it's
has to be the stars.
Stars. I'm going
because the universe is bigger than the Earth.
Wow.
I'd like to change my answer.
And the correct answer is the stars of the universe.
Now, there's a ton of people that wish they could be here with you guys today to say goodbye. And they couldn't be here. But I believe Cartoon Network has arranged a little thing, and it might be a surprise for you, but this... J.G. Quintel, this is your life! Is there a clip that we have ready?
Hi, I'm Sam Marin. I voiced Pops, Benson, and Muscle Man. I just want to say thanks to JG and all the crew for making such a fun show to work on. I had a great time working on it. And you know who else is really grateful for what you all did?
Oh my god.
This is Minty Lewis, writer, storyboarder, and voice of Eileen. And I just want to say thank you very sincerely to JG Quintel for giving me this opportunity, for taking a chance on a pregnant woman in Berkeley who didn't know anything about anything. Not a lot of people would have done that, and I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you.
My name's Matt Price, story editor for Regular Show, also voice of JG's favorite character on the show, Quips. Zingo! JG, big congratulations on the show. I was hired for 7 weeks, as you know, and I stayed for 7 years.
Hi JG, here I am in the kitchen that I first grew into the Regular Show pilot 8 years ago. It's been a long, fun ride involving cats that vaguely look like Rigby.
Hey there, my name is Roger Craig-Smith. You might know me as a voice actor on the series, providing voices for one half of the Carter and Briggs duo. I never remember which one, I always get them confused. It's one of the two guys that goes, we've done
Frank from Chopper 6, Margaret's dad.
Thomas the intern, or Nikolai, we don't know which one came first, chicken or egg. Thank you very much, JG, for letting me participate on this show and getting to play so many zany and wacky and bizarre characters, and you trusting me with those characters has been an immense honor, and I wish you nothing but success, and you are so deserving of every ounce of success you've already achieved and I'm sure will continue to achieve. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It is with a somber sign-off that I give you a heartfelt
I send you big, gross, wet, sticky starlight kisses and out to everybody that's worked on the show, and I hope I'll see you down the road at some point, because I will miss you.
JG, it was such a pleasure working with you. I hope that we get to work together again on future projects. You never know what could happen with Margaret and Eileen. They might have their own show one day.
JG Quintel. JG Quintel. JG Quintel. I think there was a little tension between the two of us early on because it became clear that the fans thought I was the pretty one. But that passed, and we started doing really good work together. People would say to me, "What's it like working with JG?" And I'd say, "It's weirdly great." I mean, if the dude ever loses his temper, I've never seen it happen. Then by about 2012, I was hoping I never would see it happen because I figured that stuff had to be really backed up. Seriously though, those 6 years were some of the best of my life. I always loved coming to work, and I want to thank you for that, JG. I know I'll be on other cartoons, but I'll never be on a better one.
We all really look up to you, but also you're our friend, and we'll miss you a lot, and...
Yes!
Alright, you get it. We'll miss you, so don't go, alright?
Give it up for the cast and crew of the regular show. How about that, huh? Now, like any show on Cartoon Network, it wouldn't be anywhere without you guys, the viewers and the fans. I've hosted panels for this place, and I've never met such dedicated and awesome, loving fans like you guys. So now it's your turn. We're gonna open it up for some Q&A. If you guys are down to say goodbye, have any last questions? Just one? Two? All right, guys, you win the free Kias that are parked up there. Yeah, come on down and say hi.
Hi, thank you for the funniest, the most creative, the most rewatchable show. It is my favorite.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my time now that the show is over. Watch something else?
Start from the beginning. Watch it all.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a great 7 years. It's one of the best shows that ever. And, also Thomas is one of my favorite characters of all time. Just
thank you.
Anywhere, on anything. And so now that the show's over, I just want to know what's next, like, for you guys. Is it too soon to ask, or?
Well, right now, I'm still finishing regular show. Still like several months away from actually getting like everything finished. So working really hard on that, but I want to make another show. I hope that I get to, and
I hope so too.
I hope you guys will watch it. It's becoming a very sad panel.
Yes, sir. Well, I first want to say that, so you went to NASA. Does that mean that you impersonated astronauts, which you said not to do in your show? And none of you guys stated fist pump would be brought into space, which was very disappointing. And lastly, it really I was wondering if now that the show's over, if the comic that you guys do with, I think, Kaboom, right? If that's going to continue, and if maybe we could see like the future of the guys in the park in the comic book.
I don't know if they want to keep making it. I'm sure we wouldn't have any problem with that. So maybe that would be a cool. Get to see what happens afterwards.
Also, in person, you kind of look like Mordecai.
It's totally based on them. That was a very good guess. Thanks.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
I want to say congratulations for ending on your own terms. I mean, that's not an honor that like a lot of cartoons get. They're just strung out forever, like a la Simpsons. But congratulations for that. But
shots fired.
I know, right? I wanted to ask for the finale. Are you guys gonna like maybe do like a all the characters that's ever been in the show in one splash page, a la Futurama? And will we see any of the Laserdisc characters? I mean, come on.
I can't spoil it, but you're gonna see a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Wink.
I can spoil it. So what's gonna happen?
He knows nothing.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
My name is Hamix, and I want to say congratulations on your show. It's really been like a creative process for me seeing your show. It's really given me ideas and influenced my art style and everything. My question is, in between your episodes, it's always laughter, and then how do you incorporate like deep emotions in like your episodes and like make them like relatable, and you start thinking really hard about them?
Well, I think we base it on, things that have happened to us. Any of the emotional episodes, like Mordecai with Margaret, that was definitely like me when I was younger, like having a hard time talking to girls and like wanting to put that in there and showing that struggle. So I think it's just making things that you feel passionate about, and it will shine through, I think, to other people, and they'll be able to relate to it, making the characters, feel stuff.
There's a clip of Taco Vendor number 2 on YouTube. When he says, "Here's your taco," just study that, you'll get it. You're welcome.
Hey guys, I have a question, but first, thank you for all these years, times I should have been studying, I just marathoning cartoon, good times, but my question is, Eileen is in space with the rest of the guys. Was there a creative process for choosing her to come instead of, say, Margaret or anyone else?
Yeah, when we were talking about it, it was funny because briefly she was not in it, and we were like, we can't lose Eileen. Like, she was like becoming such like a character at that point in season 7, and so that was like something that we did kind of in the end, was like we snuck her on, and it worked really well. We were like, yes, we can still have Eileen. So I'm glad that we didn't lose her.
You guys are amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello. You said that characters are based off of people in the past, and who's the inspiration for High Five Ghost?
I don't really know. Honestly, I was like, I had Muscle Man drawn, and I was like, all right, yeah, like I get who this guy is, but like nobody's gonna like him, so I need him to have a buddy. And I just randomly drew this ghost with a hand on his head. And that's what he was. I was a big fan of High Fives and Pac-Man.
Yes, sir?
My question kind of selfish, but who do you think Mordecai would end up with more of, CJ or Margaret?
Oh, that's really hard. If he didn't screw up with either of them, I feel like Mordecai made some really like big mistakes that made it hard for him to end up with either of them. But they were both really cool, so it's like a hard toss-up.
Dude, she's right here.
I was gonna say, Margaret. This is awkward. Margaret. Yeah, I think this was an easy call. It's the actress who's with you on stage right now.
This is being recorded, right?
No, Margaret. That was his first, huge crush. Took forever.
Friends forever.
And then she crushed him.
No matter what.
Awesome. Sir.
Hey guys, just wanted to say great show and everything, and I always wanted to tell you this, JG, that for the longest time, people have always said that Mordecai reminds them of me. So people would always say to me, like, JG must have seen you and based the character off of you. And I'm like, I don't know, and then people say like my voice sounds like yours. I've gotten that a lot, but I just also wanted to say, I work on cartoons and myself, I do animation, and your stuff has really inspired me, and along with a lot of other stuff that I watch, and I just hope that maybe I could be up there one day with you guys, working with you guys.
Keep working at it, you could.
Yeah. Are there a lot of artists out there? Aspiring artists? Yeah, man. The place to be.
Oh boy. I just want to say, regular show is like the greatest show that I've ever watched. I called it my #1 show on Cartoon Network. Thank you guys so much for this show. And I have one question. What was your favorite episode that you've ever done?
There's so many now. We got up to like 260 something episodes in a movie. I think my favorite is I think maybe the last one. No. Excellent. We won the Emmy with that one, so it just like kind of has this special place in my heart. And it was one that took a lot of work to get it approved because originally it was about Rigby trying to eat the omelet, but then he vomited, and then the vomit came to life and taught him how to eat an omelet. And they were like, no, you can't do that, it's too gross. And so we finally changed it like 2 years later into what it became, where Mordecai took over to win it for him. And yeah, that was a real process, and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Joe. I was actually about 10 when the show first came out, and I loved it as soon as I saw it was just like a clip of them doing donuts in the the golf cart. And I've been watching it as it's come out, and I love the show to death. It's fantastic. And I was wondering, where do you come up with the ideas for some of the crazier episodes, like the Russia one?
Well, to come up with all of our ideas, we play writers' games, and the way that we do that is we put fake titles into a hat, like things you think, if I saw that title, I'd want to try to watch that. And then we set a timer for 2 minutes, and we just start writing as fast as we can, so a lot of weird stuff comes out. And that's part of it. So it's like we pick the ones that make us all laugh, and then those get turned into episodes. And the Thomas one was kind of like, he originally started as like, he was just an intern, and a lot of us working on the show had been interns in the past and kind of knew how people get treated when you're an intern. And so we just thought it was funny that he was this side character that they just kind of didn't care about. But then later on he evolved into that spy character, which that was a really fun, happy accident through a writer's game.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Camille, and the guy you just talked to is my son, and so nice job, Joe.
Well done. Did you guys time it like that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
Family.
I'm a nerd and an academic, and so I'm interested in actually writing a book about your show. So I was so excited to know that it's still going. I think it does an interesting job of connecting young people with not so young people, particularly looking at the references in Gen X to connecting to millennials. Boosh fans and Theater of the Absurd fans, all that stuff unites, fantastic. Would you mind speaking on the importance of those 80s in specific episodes? You've got montages and songs and just great 80s bits. How much do you expect them to resonate with younger audiences who get it and have fighting montages now when they may not have known where they came from?
Yeah, I think, for people who, grew up with that music, they're going to have like a nostalgia for it and really like it when it plays. But for people who have never heard it, like it's kind of their first time, but it's still a good song. It just doesn't get tons of radio play. And so they discover it, and then I've heard of kids like hearing a popular song on a commercial, but they're like, oh, it's making me think of a regular show because that's the first time that they heard it. So it's just interesting to see how that works, because like I think a lot of the music that we're picking, I mean, at least in my mind, I think is timeless because I really like it. I'm sure other people are like, But yeah, I was just putting all the stuff that I really liked in, and I'm glad that other people were into it too.
Thank you so much. As a follow-up, if there is some way that I can find your fan group or whatever, I'd love to touch base.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi.
I started middle school with a regular show, and now I'm a senior in high school applying to animation programs.
Nice.
With a regular show.
Oh, that's amazing.
So thank you for that. But yeah. So, sorry, I'm like super anxious right now. My question is, you work in the medium of animation, obviously, but I see that there's a big connection to like video games and comic books. For upcoming projects, do you think you're going to continue with animation, or do you think you're going to use like other mediums too?
I love animation. Like I grew up, I think it's the only thing I ever wanted to do was make cartoons. So I feel very fortunate that I got to do it, and I want to continue to do it. I like live action. It kind of scares me. Like I like being able to draw stuff and push stuff, and I like traditional animation a lot. So yeah, I think that's what I would continue to do. But as far as the video games and all that kind of stuff goes, like that's just stuff that I loved as a kid. Like I loved video games, and I just wanted to put it all into this one thing.
Thank you.
Before you ask your question, if you're going to tell us you were like 2 years old when you started watching regular show, because You're all making us feel very old up here.
I was a zygote when it first came out, and I'm 36 now, and I just love everything.
Every time somebody goes like, I started the, I was like, oh my God, we're old. It's amazing. It's happening.
Well, believe it or not, I'm 23.
Cool.
My name is Eric, and also a fan of animation, usually the best stories are the ones that do have that personal bend to them. And this might sound like a loaded question, but what was sort of the heaviest thing that you dealt with in the past that kind of worked its way into the show?
Well, I was playing video games against this guy, and like his head exploded because I crushed him so hard. No, I think like probably the most intense stuff would be the Mordecai Margaret stuff. Like definitely getting dumped is horrible, and so trying to put how that feels into the show when he tries to like ask her out and she like tells him that she's leaving. Like, that's pretty real, and it was intense. And I was really glad that that was in the show, and like, a really kind of like strong emotional moment that I think for really young kids, I don't know that they're gonna get it. It's probably just gonna come off as like, why is this so sad? But yeah, probably that one.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Manny, and thank you guys for creating the show. It's been such an amazing journey, and all the characters on the show, they're all weird and crazy, and I just don't know who's my favorite at all, but I think High Five Ghost is the coolest one of all.
Yes!
And out of all the characters, the most interesting one to me was Gary Bobby Ferguson. So, where did you guys get the idea for him?
Well, I'm trying to think. He's kind of similar to, like, I don't know, there's just like a lot of people who are very competitive, and we wanted to make this character that was like super competitive, and yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I've been watching the show since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
With my little brother, and we kind of really connected with Mordecai and Rigby, you know, you saying that Rigby was kind of like the little brother, whatever. And I was just wondering, did you ever really have like a friend other than, you know, your Rigby now, but like in college, did you have like that guy that was always next to you?
Yeah, I think like all through life, you always have like kind of that best friend. No matter where you are, there's somebody that you like call first or like want to hang out with the most. And growing up, had a best friend, and then like I also had like a little brother, so like I pulled a lot from that. But yeah, that friendship thing, like that was like the core of the show in my mind. It was like just dealing with like what it's like with your like really close friends, you know.
Thank you, and you really made a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks a lot for the hammer, and when he comes out and it plays that synth line that drove me nuts, it's like, it's so great. My question is, what is your favorite 80s movie, and why is it The Running Man?
I think I've got a lot of favorite movies, but like I definitely am a huge fan of Big Trouble in Little China. You probably noticed many references sprinkled through regular show from that. So if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it. It's the best.
Perfect, thank you.
Hi, my name's Lane. I love you guys. I love the whole series. I love the storyline behind each character you have. My favorite line from Mordecai, when you were mad at Rigby and you were like, you pissed me off. And I want to hear you say it in person.
You pissed me off.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love all you guys. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first year, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I really love your show. And I just have a really important question. Is Rigby's mixtape fire?
Wait, say that again?
Is Rigby's mixtape fire?
Fire? Yeah.
Fire.
Oh, fire.